Carson Wentz wasn't on the field, but he took reps of practice this week the same way that he's done that for the last 5 or 6 weeks. I think there are some people who think that he could be starting, he could be replacing Wentz. The way it has been explained to me by various people is that it's the same thing that has been going on in Philadelphia for the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's hard not to have a little smile when stating that news there. About 3.5 hours away from Monday Night Football. We'll get to see it in person, see exactly what goes on. Adam, stay right there. We're coming back to you momentarily. Doug Peterson, by the way, has reiterated Carson's 100% our guy. But, Mina, is it the right time to maybe get Jalen Hurts a little more involved in this Eagles offense?
No, I actually don't think it's the right time to get him a little more involved. I think it might be the right time to get him a lot more involved, but you have to make a decision either way, right? Like what they've been doing and perhaps might be doing a little bit more based on what you believe is sprinkling him intermittently in the game, not giving him an entire series, hoping for some juice the way Taysom Hill occasionally would give juice to the Saints offense. But this isn't the Saints offense. Like tinkering around the margins isn't going to help the Eagles. That's like taking a bad song and just playing some tambourine on top of it. It's not helpful. If they want to see what they have in Jalen Hurts, let him play a game or let him play an entire half. I don't really see how mixing him intermittently helps anyone.
Well, listen, bearer of bad news must enter the chat, okay? First, two things can be true. We can identify all of the stuff that's going on around Carson Wentz and acknowledge the fact that he's playing with a tough deck of cards. That's number one. Offensive line, requisite weapons on the outside, play calling by the coach. We all agree on that. The second thing is this, all right? Carson Wentz has sucked. And that's why we're having this conversation. That's the bottom line. That's the truth. And the real reason that's relevant is because the NFC East sucks. So you don't go to Jalen Hurts, to further my point, because unbeknownst to people that's living under a rock, they can still win their division. And the person that gives you the best shot to do that is Carson Wentz. Now, I agree. I like the fact that Jalen Hurts is getting more reps because if you see Carson go out and he's abysmal, at least you can say we gave Jalen Hurts some reps if you have to go that way and make an in-game adjustment. But the bottom line is this, and then I'm going to get a floor to his brother, Dan Orlovsky. If Carson Wentz was not a $100 million quarterback, these conversations wouldn't be as intense. Such is life in the NFL. Such is life for a quarterback. All right. So now that he has his money, we expect him to lift a lot of those things we say that he's lacking. He's not. So in response, Jalen Hurts has the potential to play. Go ahead, Dan Orlovsky.
All right, let's make something very clear. This is the most important month this season for the Eagles. There's their 4 toughest games. If they want any chance to win this division that's beat up, they need Carson Wentz to take the great majority of the snaps, and he needs to have his best football that he's had all year. Now, what does that look like? Going to the game tonight that'll kick off in about 3 hours. First of all, run more plays that I call Siri, C-I-R-I. Call it, run it. Just get to the line of scrimmage and just call plays and run them. Don't spend so much time trying to operate in perfection. Don't break the huddle with 10 seconds left and have no chance. Get to the line of scrimmage, take a mental breather, just call plays and go operate them. Let their instincts and reactions take over. Number 2, get Miles Sanders out in space. He's actually a very, very good player. Get him a minimum of 15 to 17 touches tonight out in space. Number 3, use Jalen Reagor as an actual wide receiver. He can do it. He's not just a gadget guy. Utilize him in a bunch of different routes. Number 4, at least 10 times tonight, get Carson Wentz out of the pocket. At least 10, not scrambles, designed out of the pocket. That allows him to create offense for you guys. It allows him to play free. It gets him into the game, especially early on. Now going to Jalen Hurts. I got no problem using Jalen Hurts some, but it has to be situationally. 3rd and 3 or less. 3rd and 3 or less. Maybe you bring him on the field, get Carson Wentz off. You can play 11-on-11 football. You can use some of the zone read. Down in the red zone, which you haven't been good on. down in the red zone, 11 on 11 football, zone read, RPO, quarterback run. This is Carson Wentz's offense. He's got to play good football.
All right, 3.5 hours away from Monday Night Football. Keep it right here on ESPN for that. We have a developing story right now happening in the NFL. Let's bring Adam Schefter back in for that. What's going on, Adam?
Laura, I'm told that the NFL is now considering a third postponement to the Ravens-Steelers game. It's already moved the game from Thanksgiving to Sunday to Tuesday tomorrow night. That is now being scheduled, but I understand that basically it could be moved to later this week. And so the NFL continues to do everything it can to try to get this game played at any point in time. So it still could be this week, which would lead to other questions, of course. What would happen to the Steelers game in Week 13? What would happen to the Ravens game in Week 13? But it's possible that both teams could be playing a second game on a short week. But one of the moves that the league is considering right now is moving this game out of the Tuesday night slot to later this week. Maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday. We'll see how it plays out. But that is certainly being discussed and is on the table right now.
Yeah, just one reminder, too. There's no Thursday night game because Ravens-Cowboys moved to next Monday. So you never know. Thursday could be an open slot right there for a spot for this Ravens-Steelers game. We'll keep you updated on every single thing. So, thanks so much, Adam, for all the latest there. And by the way, it's time for the best segment in all of television. Award-winning, you might say.